Hello everybody, thank you for joining us. Today we are going to do a quick sketch of Namor. And Namor is Marvel's Submariner, so it's their version of Aquaman according to according to comic history. He came before Aquaman, so if anything he is the original Atlantean, but their abilities and their power sets and somewhat their histories and of course their characters vary very much. So we're doing Namor right now. To do an oval, I'm going to do that for the shoulders, delts. I'll be using some foreshortening, so I'll have this arm right in the front where he's holding his trusty trident. So I'm not sure how much of the trident I'm going to show from this particular angle, but we're going to see if we can incorporate enough. So we're going to need one circle, 2, 3. So 1, 2, and 3. So I'll make this side a little darker so that you can see that more clearly, and I'm going to use this circle itself for his hand, and right here I'm just going to have this go back, the delt, and I'll just have the chest going right there, and then again, like, there's some short foreshortening coming up. So 1, 2, 3. So what we are trying to do is show that he is swimming toward us. So I'm doing the abs and the serratus structure right now. That is collarbone somewhere there. And we'll go again, so kind of a little bit of his belt shows there. There's the seashell buckle, and further, like, foreshortening now, we can go down a little bit more and show a part of the feet. Now we do not necessarily need to show the feet if we do not have to, because after all, if you're concentrating on a swimming pose, many a time the feet are not necessarily visible when it comes to the core perspective itself. So I'm using a marker from this point onward, and I would actually recommend that you continue to follow in pencil and even improvise along the way. Right, so we start off with the hand, which is in the foreground. Now you should check out our other videos in which we have done foreshortening of the hand. So I'm just going as slowly as I can. So index finger like that, middle finger round about here. After all, we're showing that these are curled around his trusty trident, and if you have those 4 digits down, we can close off here, and we have to imagine that he is, now he doesn't really need to hold a trident. He can, because there are certain, actually not certain, there are many poses in which he is just shown like flying, like swimming or flying. He actually flies, as opposed to his DC counterpart Aquaman, who does not fly. But he has these little wings on his feet that are supposed to work as an aviation kind of feature. I know that it's very, very corny, especially for a aggressive character and a king of the seas, but that's how it is. They have wings on his feet, which will not be visible in this video because we're showing him in action. There's the wristband right there, so it's actually kind of a large wristband, and I'm going backward, showing a bit of the bicep right there, going into the delt, and that is a foreshortened arm, sort of foreshortened arm. Now we should get this trident in place, and so his trident is slightly different to Aquaman's. Now I'm doing my own version here, but he does have this crustacean type of make on his trident, so I'm just doing something along those lines. Alright, so as you see that everything that is in the foreground is taking its liberties with the thing which are in the background, and that way certain things need not be visible. For instance, I can already see a part of the delt will not be visible when we put it in, and here we go. So part of that delt has been hidden, the chest mainly hidden in this particular angle, but we can show some serratus right there, a little bit of the ab structure there, seashell buckle as best as you can show it from this angle, and his swimmer's trunks, and then foreshortened legs, and he has bare feet. So if you can just bear with me for a second, I'll put those in, and pretty much if you just show that sort of a structure, you'll have a sort of a foreshortened image. Now you need not show that, because in some images Namor actually is just doing a like flying pose. I did this, just to stay faithful to the swimmer's perspective, but here you could also have one knee go up, so like Superman like pose, in which you could just have the knee here and just show a bit of the other thigh like that, and that would also work. And you could make this even larger if you have to, but right now this is how we can work this out. So as far his face goes, so Namor's face is that Spock-like. He has like these Spock-like eyebrows. He has distinguished forehead, and he has a hairline that is something like that, but he definitely has eyebrows that are very, he has an awesome either he has an awesome makeup guy who comes and does these for him, or it's actually a joke, he was born like that. So good genes, good Atlantean genes for those very streamlined eyebrows, and just a generic jaw there, and a generic and determined mouth, and he has these pointy ears. So Atlanteans apparently in the Marvel universe have pointy ears, and it's actually cool because after all we have to have a distinctive look for superheroes, and he has hair that actually varies from artist to artist. He has that. He's also got round hair in the older versions, but this is something in between, so we are going to do just that. And there we have it. Some muscles around the neck and pecs adjoining the delts, and some muscles around the delts as well. So there we have it. Now you could also have a part of the arm showing here if you wish. Let's say that he scrolled his arm backward and it's going to come somewhat like that, and you could actually show his other fist right here, or you could just not choose to show it. You could also show the arm going backward there, but it will clash with the trident, or you could just show the arm going back like that. And that is actually, if you ask me, that is more fitting if I would do it my way. And then just for some quick marker details, we'll put that rich Atlantean glare in the hair. Well, that actually rhymed, but it is true. And if I have a light source, although underwater there's like weeds, there's things that cast a different spell all their own. Since we are just doing a generic sketch here, I'm not going into too many details. We'll just focus on Namor himself. So if you want to do a tone along the trident, you can do something like that. I did not put in the end necessarily. He has this fish texture. He has these fish texture trunks. You could put that in. You could put another shadow under the head right there. Perhaps a little bit here, just for definition. Somewhat here. So just minor details going in toward the sketch. I'm going to actually put that hand out like that. Wristband, so foreshortening. Okay, so and then I'm just using a slightly thinner tip to get some tones and shading where they should be. Now I won't be getting all of it, but let's just put in a few tones and some crosshatch here and there, just to make this thing look a little better. So if you haven't checked out this character, you should. He has a history with the Fantastic Four in particular, but he has been part of other teams. He has been part of the Avengers in different, in different storylines, and he's had this. The one thing that he's had is an imposing presence, and whenever he's been part of the storyline, he has mostly been a key player, except in like big crossovers where there were multitudes of villains and other characters involved. That was a different story, but Namor, according to his ownership of the seas and his heritage, is that important key player in the Marvel universe when it comes to underwater adventures. So, and for that matter, his adventures whenever he comes to the surface. So it's a matter of time, I think, before we see this guy in one of the mainstream Marvel movies. So I'm putting a bit of the wings there, and there we have it. So a quick sketch of Namor, Marvel's Atlantean King. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, keep in touch. Have yourself a wonderful day.